Hey guys, Hamsterwheel here with a new video, and do you remember this hunter that I introduced 4 months ago? Well, since then I've gotten a lot of new gear, so I went from this to this. That's right, I got a bunch of new items, and as I said in my previous video about this hunter, I would revisit this character when I got some new gear, and we're gonna do exactly that. So let's go over the items that I've gotten, shall we? Okay, for the headpiece I used to have the Dragon Eye Coil, which is now replaced by the Giant Stalker's helmet. The Wovi Ivan necklace has been replaced by Maelstrom's tendril. The Black Dragon skill shoulders are now the Giant Stalker epaulets. The Cape of the Black Baron is still here, so no replacement for that item slot. The Black Dragon skill breastplate is now the Ruined Bloodstained Hauberk. The Beastalker bindings are now the Zandalar Predator's bracers. Grimlock's charge has been replaced by both the Fang of the Faceless and a Warblade of Hakari, and both are now enchanted with plus 15 agility, by the way. The Dwarven hand cannon is now Rokdalar, longbow of the Ancient Keepers. The chained essence of Enranicus has been replaced by Blackhand's breath, and the other trinket is still the same. The Painweaver band is replaced by the seal of the Gurabashi Berserker, and the other ring is still the same. The Flamewalkers are now the Giant Stalker's boots. The Black Dragon skill leggings are now the Giant Stalker's leggings. The Shadowcraft belt is now the Zandalar Predator's belt. And last but not least, I've replaced the Beastalker gloves with Voon's vice grips. Alright, now that we went over the items, there's nothing else left to do but join a ZG once again and see how much my DPS has improved since the first time I went in there with this character. So we're once again starting with High Priestess Yeklik. Last time I did 437 DPS, and now I got a much more impressive 711 DPS. Not too bad if you ask me. Moving on to Venoxis, I improved my DPS from 552 to a massive 1049 DPS. That's right, because of the ads in the beginning and getting a lot of crits during this fight, I was actually able to sustain a lot of DPS, and because of that, I actually got to number 1 on DPS and damage done. On to Marley, and here I went from 445 DPS to 756 DPS. The call was also a huge improvement for me. I first did 406 DPS, and now I did much better, pulling a total of 875 DPS. Moving on to Arlok, where I had some struggles sustaining a good amount of DPS the first time I joined, pulling only 406 DPS. This time around it went much better, pulling a total of 693 DPS. Time for Jindo. I used to do a 520 DPS on average at this boss, and this run I did 1454 DPS. Wait, what? Well, yeah, we kinda messed up with the poll. We were clearing ads by just AoEing them down, and mages and hunters can easily do 1.5k DPS here. And right after that we pulled the boss, so Recount counted that as one full fight, so this reading isn't exactly accurate. I'll be sure not to take Jindo into consideration when I calculate my total DPS done at the end, since that wouldn't be very fair. Moving on to Hakar, I went from a measly 461 DPS to a much better DPS done of 747. And the last boss, which is Bloodlord Manicure, where I got 256 DPS done on my first run, and this time around I got 535 DPS done. Still kinda low, but it is to be expected when you get killed 6 times in one fight. Right, after all those fights and pulling much more impressive numbers, it's time to see how much my DPS has improved. My average DPS done on all bosses used to be 435.38 DPS, and that has increased to a much better 766.57 DPS. That is an increase of 76%. Not too shabby if you ask me. And that concludes me revisiting this hunter. He's come a long way and now manages to almost out DPS my mage, which clearly has a lot better gear. Who knows, I might do this again if I ever get my hands on some tier 2 gear or whatever in the near future. But until then, I'd say I'm quite pleased with the results of my little hunter. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I'm Hamsterwheel, and have a good one.